Hi, it's Kris Crocker in the 4 News Now First Alert Weather Center on a very windy afternoon, late afternoon in Spokane. It is noisy here in the 4 News Now First Alert Weather Center. I'm hearing that wind. Getting reports of some trees down, mainly right now. The reports coming out of North Idaho, Pend Oreille area, also in Pend Oreille County in Washington. Area power outages are in the 15,000 range and probably going to increase. Here are some things that you need to know about this wind event. We have a high wind warning. It went into effect at 2 o'clock. It stays in effect until 10 o'clock tonight. Now, the far portions of the Columbia Basin, as you head out towards Ritzville, Wilbur, the warning expires at 8. Doesn't go until 10 for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. The rest of the region is under a wind advisory. So just because you are not in the warning area does not mean that you are going to be spared some damaging winds, but it is in this area where we are going to be seeing, in fact, are seeing our strongest winds right now. Wind gusts, reported wind gusts have been in the 55-mile-per-hour range so far. Potential for up to 70-mile-per-hour gusts in the Ritzville area, Basin area, up to the West Plains and other points. We're looking more at the potential for 65-mile-per-hour gusts. And I think we're getting into the highest wind gust time here in the next hour or so, sometime around 5 o'clock. Now, here's our forecast computer model, and the front is moving through right now, and it wants to take those stronger winds up into Coeur d'Alene, Sandpoint, Moscow, and Pullman in advance of the front, showing up to 75-mile-per-hour winds. I think that is on the high side, but certainly damaging winds a possibility as this front moves out. Our winds will decrease, but slowly. It is going to be a windy night across the inland northwest, and it's going to stay windy right on through the day tomorrow. We're going to be dealing with 40-mile-per-hour gusts tomorrow. It's not a damaging wind for the most part, but inconvenient and unpleasant. Obviously, damage to small trees. We're already seeing trees down around the region. They had to close Sherman Pass for a time with some trees down there. Scattered power outages, we've got those, and strong crosswinds. About the only good thing about that is that it has been so wet that we are not experiencing the blowing dust that so commonly comes along with these wind events. 4 things that you need to know about this wind. The high wind warning until 10 o'clock tonight. It is going to stay windy on Tuesday, and then we are going to calm down and cool down for Wednesday. Here is your 7-day forecast. Windy tomorrow with a mix of sun and clouds. Cooler, a high temperature of 42. And then we really drop off down to 22 for a morning low Wednesday. Possibility of a little bit of a rain-snow mix Thursday and Friday. No shoveling required here, but we could see a more impressive widespread snow in the northern valleys. And then just a much calmer weather scenario going forward. Certainly, if you've got kids, I already called and said everybody out of the room that is on the southwest corner of the house by the giant ponderosa pine. Make sure they are either down in the basement or in an interior room, away from windows until these stronger winds pass, particularly if you live in one of those neighborhoods where you are surrounded by trees, as I am, as many of us are. Those tall pine trees do not fare well in these big wind events. Comparing this to previous events that are still fresh in our mind, it is looking more like, they're all unique, but more like the event of last January 13th, where we saw power outages and tremendous damage, and not as much like the epic windstorm 6 years ago, almost to the day of November 17th, 2015, where we had winds in excess of 70 miles per hour, and it was a much longer duration of those extremely high winds. So still a windstorm to be reckoned with, and we're already getting the damage reports. I suspect we'll get many, many more. In the meantime, we will be on the air with updates at 5, 6, and 11 o'clock tonight. I'll also update you here later on this evening as the front moves through. Thanks for watching.